Hi everyone, it's Kim here. This is what I am calling a process video. You'll see that there's going to be some steps that I'm doing in this video. Now here, I'm making my own pattern. I actually woke up this morning with this vision of putting a dress on a mixed media project. I must have seen this somewhere before because I can't imagine I would think of this myself. And here I am putting that pattern together. I'm putting that design together using some graphing paper. I know exactly what material it is that I'm going to be using. And you know, at this point it looks like a robot. But it is going to end up being a cute little dress. And even though I had the graphing lines to help me, since I'd never done this before, I wasn't really sure where I was going with this. So a couple of places I erased here and there. Now, just a brief little personal note. I actually live in the suburbs with my husband and my 2 teenage boys. However, I grew up in the country, and that is where my heart is. I tease my husband when we talk about retiring that I want to buy a farm and go back to how it was that I grew up as a child. Good times. Now I'm just going to cut this out, and that's going to be my pattern. And I'm a little bit off camera there. I didn't like the way those Tim Holtz scissors were cutting paper, so I actually got my paper scissors out. And I am done. There's my dress. All right, let's go on to the next step. This is material, a remnant I bought at Walmart, and I'm going to put Mod Podge on it. Now I'm going to cut a little over a 12 by 12. I didn't really have an exact size in mind. That I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to Mod Podge it and make it stiff. And I was trying to stay on camera there, and I know it wasn't, so I was kind of struggling with pushing the material down in so that you could see what I was doing. And to me it didn't matter that it was perfectly straight because I was just going to lay that pattern down there anyway. So, and I'm not going to put a real thick layer of Mod Podge. I wanted the material to be stiff, but not completely where, you know, it was crackly. And I wanted it to dry quickly. So that's about all I did with the Mod Podge. I did use my heat gun, and I helped it dry a little bit, and then I set it to the side, and it sat there for a good half hour. And there's my pattern. Now I didn't want to use a Sharpie on this, but I really needed to have something a bit more bright and defined than that pencil, because I couldn't see it. And I don't have anything like that in my sewing stuff. I know that there is a special marker you can use, but I did not have it. So I'm doing my best here, and you'll see there will be a little bit of a change on the sleeve design, just because I didn't follow that pattern exactly, but it worked out okay. And you'll see that the material is flexible, but again, it's a little stiff. It's got some stiffness to it, so it's easy to work with what I'm about to do. And I figured the best way to get the right side so that it was symmetrical with the left was just to fold it over in half. And I just trimmed it up. I love this material. If I had a country home, I would make my curtains, my kitchen curtains out of it. There is my little dress. Now, because it's a little stiff, I'm folding that in. And I was going to use that fold to glue onto my mixed media canvas. And it ended up that I really didn't need to do that. So, and I'm just doing an accordion fold here. wanted the dress to pop up a bit off of the canvas, and I thought that the accordion style would do that. And I wanted to put something on the bottom, so I took a big step here and I cut my ribbon for the sleeves and the belt, and I also cut the collar. And the material I used for the collar was this really pretty white material that had just a hint of these really pretty lace flowers. And the kind of glue I'm using is fabric glue. That's where I'm putting the belt, and trying to get it pushed up to the edge of the top there. And I cut a strip of the white lacy looking material with my pinking shears, and I'm using my scissors because the glue keeps sticking to my fingers to just put that bottom piece of lace on there. Those weren't the right scissors to trim it. The sunflower button I actually got at Joann's, and it does have a little like a dimensional pop dot kind of thing on it, but I knew that wasn't going to hold it, so I went ahead and put some more of that fabric glue on it. And there's my dress. All right, now let's get started with the mixed media. All right, putting on some matte medium. And this is an 8.5 by 11 size stretch canvas, and it's Artist Loft from Michaels. And I'm putting on some yellow paint there. It's like a goldish tone that matches pretty well with the gold color in that dress. And I have this really cool paintbrush that's like separated, so it looks pretty cool when I put the brush effect on there. And that's a light blue. It's a little bit lighter than what's in the material. And I found this little piece of whatever that is. It's like a ribbon stuff that I bought at Michael's for Christmas. I found it in my closet where I store my stuff, just sitting on the floor, and I thought, oh, there's a reason for that. And now that I'm kind of delving into this mixed media thing, I find myself when I'm out places, I'm staring at the napkins and you know, looking at things that I would have never looked at before, because you can use napkins on your mixed media projects. Now I know I was going to put some stamps on it, so I pulled out this TPC stamp and just put a light layer of some black. And typically I would put that on an acrylic block, but I didn't want to have to reach all the way across my picture to grab it and show you that I was still in my pajamas. I find myself being most creative in the early morning hours. Typically because I wake up thinking about, oh, I want to do that project. So I run downstairs while everybody's still sleeping. And it's nice and quiet in my house. I'm just putting on a little bit of a brown frame. I'm still trying to learn how to do that correctly. This is my second project where I tried to do a framing effect, and I'm okay with it. Now this is a stencil that I bought at Michael's, and I can't remember the name of it, Creative something. I can post that on my blog, and then you'll know the exact details on that. And this is my spackle. I went back to the spackle. I did try some modeling paste on another project because I see a lot of mixed media artists use the modeling paste, but you know, I just like that spackle. It's fluffy, it's not as heavy, and it dries super quick. And after I was done using the stencil, I kind of took a look at it and thought, ooh, I want to do one where I use the entire stencil and paint it, maybe. Not necessarily use spackle, but paint it. It's a very pretty stencil. Hitting it with my heat gun, getting it dried up, but like I said, the spackle dries very, very quick. And this is an acrylic pen. Kind of laying that dress on there to see where I'm going to put my writing on here. This is the first time I've done this, by the way, where I've actually written on the project, and I'm trying to dry that one corner. Yeah, see, I'm not liking that brown frame thing going on there. Well, that did make absolutely no difference whatsoever, did it? And I'm just going to write Country Girl. And then down at the bottom, I'm going to put At Heart. I saw a lot of white going on there, and I wanted to put some green in there that matched the green leaves in that material. I grabbed the wrong green though. That's a very, very bright green, almost a teal. So I went back and grabbed the darker green. And I'm just going to try to clean up all those white empty spaces here. And now I'm painting the petals of the stencil in the golden yellow color that I painted the canvas with. And I'm blobbing it on because I want it to have texture. I'm not painting it smooth. And now I'm going to paint the leaves green, and I'm using a paintbrush that's just really starting to annoy me. So it's got like a really thin tip to it, but it was scraggly, and I was having a hard time painting on those leaves. Now I changed the angle of the camera, as you probably have noticed, instead of it being in front of me, because when I'm painting, or I found when I'm doing my mixed media, any kind of art, I just keep bumping the camera because I'm all over grabbing stuff that's spread out all over my table, and bumping the camera was just starting to bug me that I kept bumping it. So I'm trying it at this angle. Finishing up those leaves and the stems. And I'm doing the same thing with this, is where I'm literally blobbing that green on there because I want the leaves to be textured. And I'm going to go ahead and paint those. Now my dress is probably going to cover up some of that, but that's okay. And I want to get some brown in there as well. So I'm doing the middle of the flowers. And just putting in some swirly brown here and there, because I had no idea what I was doing at this point. This is one thing I struggle with mixed media, is it never looks like it has enough. It doesn't have enough character, it doesn't have enough texture. And I know this is like my 4th or 5th time I've ever done this, I think. So I know as I keep doing it, I'll learn. There's my dress. I'm going to go ahead and put it on with the Mod Podge. I put quite a bit on there, which is good, because I do not want that to fall off when I hang it. And I was being real careful not to get paint on the dress because I had paint on my fingertips. And I grabbed the paintbrush that had the black paint on it. Oops. So I'm going to wash that off and get some green in there. Those are just leaves. That's a stencil. Not sure what else I could have put there. If you have any suggestions, I'd be happy to hear them. And I got my yellow Ranger Dauber. And it's a little bit brighter of a yellow than the Liquitex. And I liked it. It's just filling in those empty spots. And also when you dab it, it leaves some texture. Alrighty, that is my finished project. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.